let's take a few minutes to talk a little bit about healthy eating for cancer survivors. Did you know that cancer survivors are at a higher risk for developing other types of cancers, as well as other medical conditions that can sometimes be related to diet and exercise? It is estimated that about a third of all cancers could be prevented through diet and exercise. The American Institute for Cancer Research has some guidelines that you can follow that may help reduce your risk for cancer and other chronic diseases. Their first guideline is to be as lean as possible without becoming underweight. There are over a dozen different types of cancers that are linked either directly or indirectly to being overweight or obese. It's also very important to be physically active for at least 30 minutes each day. The third recommendation is to eat a diet that is rich in fruits, vegetables, and other plant-based items such as legumes and beans. The American Institute for Cancer Research also recommends limiting your intake of fast foods and other processed foods that may be high in added fats and sugars. They also recommend to limit your intake of red meats. Red meats would be considered things like beef, pork, and lamb. In addition to that, it's recommended that you avoid processed meats such as ham, pepperoni, bacon, sausage. Another strategy is to limit your consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages, and it's also recommended that you limit alcohol consumption. The American Institute for Cancer Research also advises that you do not take dietary supplements as a way to protect yourself from cancer. While knowing these guidelines is very important, sometimes you need some ideas to help you follow them. One strategy to help you follow these guidelines is to increase the amount of fruits and vegetables and other plant-based items on your plate. Sometimes you may just want to start with adding more fruits and vegetables to your meals. This can be as simple as having a side salad in addition to another vegetable at dinner, or replacing some of the meat in a recipe with a vegetable. For example, a sauce that calls for a pound of beef, maybe you use a half a pound of beef and then replace the other volume with some vegetables such as mushrooms and onions. When talking about red meat, the American Institute for Cancer Research doesn't recommend to avoid it altogether, but they do suggest limiting your intake to less than 18 ounces per week. When selecting carbohydrates, go for some of your whole grains. For example, brown rice is a healthier alternative to white rice, and 100% whole wheat bread is going to be a better choice for you than a white bread. Planning meals in advance is another strategy that you can use to help you follow these guidelines. Lastly, instead of focusing on a few individual nutrients, focus on the overall quality of your diet as a whole. In summary, there are so many resources available for cancer survivors to help them incorporate more healthful foods into their daily lifestyle. There are a lot of resources available to help follow these guidelines. The first would be the American Institute for Cancer Research website. James Care for Life also has a recorded presentation on healthy eating for the cancer survivor that may provide some additional suggestions on how to incorporate these guidelines into your daily lifestyle. There are a number of things that you can do with your diet that may help reduce the risk of cancer recurrence, secondary cancers, and other chronic diseases. Things like increasing the amount of fruit and vegetables that you eat and decreasing your fast food consumption are quick things that can affect your future.